try that shit.
Miss Mary Mac. You never like, dude. I couldn't double dutch to save my life, bro. I still don't get the concept. I tried it,
dude. I see it on like YouTube videos and stuff. You get these girls, and they got like 14 jump ropes out there, and I didn't even try it when I was in school.
I could do one jump rope, like the big one, and you jump around.
Yeah,
that's
easy.
cool. But like, I never understood the concept, and maybe it's just because I haven't practiced.
Yeah.
But I'd always get like laughed off the fucking jump rope line trying to do that. He'd be like, "Get out of here!" Because I just kick fucking ropes with my legs.
Well, it just seems like the girls just don't have to practice. They all just inherently genetically know how to double dutch. just show up to the playground and they know how to hopscotch and double dutch. That's what they know to do.
Then there's like the clapping and slap the hands on the ground and spin
right?
around. I'm like, no,
we're gonna stomp the yard doing double dutch, and I'm good.
Like, windmill breakdancing, like I don't. Dude, I barely understand like how boxers like fucking jump and like do their little skip the rope the dope thing. Like, I need both feet to hit the ground and then jump back up at the same time. Like, what do you mean you're gonna kind of like jog it out? Like, no, I'm in 4th grade. I'm trying to learn monkey bars here. You're over here double dutching. This is bullshit. I could barely make it past the entire monkey bar. Fucking dude, did you ever do we called them in my school cherry drops. Did you ever do those? You know what we're talking about? Cherry
drops, cherry bombs, yeah.
Yeah, where you like spin on the like pull-up bar
and try not to fucking break your head.
I used to do those, man. Those were cool.
Yeah, my sister used to do them a lot.
One time we got this kid, because it was like sand, right? And we got this kid this one time. So we were doing them, and like someone had covered up like dog poop or something in the sand, like under the bar. And they were like, hey, Tommy, like, can you do a cherry drop off the small pull-up bar? And he's like,
Tommy.
I don't know, I try. And so he fucking does it. And he just like sticks it in the dog shit. And we're like, Tommy stepped in shit. Like,
totally set up Tommy. Fucking asshole.
He deserved all that shit with his like shaved head and long ponytail, like get out of here.
Oh, he had a rat tail.
He's like the dangerous mind kid, that's like the kind of thing. Oh man, Tommy.
Yeah, man.
We did that, and then those, then they had the girls that would like wrap their leg around the bar that was always high waist, like waist high, and then they would spin. Yeah, dude, that shit's nutty.
My sister would do that too. She'd like take off her hoodie and like put it on the bar so she could spin faster and stuff when it like
you don't fuck up your leg and all that stuff. Yeah.
You can only do that during like fall and spring though, because summertime those bars get hot.
Well, the thing that always like bothered me is that like they all had like the girls always had their hair in a ponytail and shit, right? And then like that ponytail would whip into the dirt like as they're spinning around. And I'm like, I just stand there with like a ghost face, like, your hair is gonna be fucked up. Like, your hair is dirty.
They don't care. They go to line up after recess. They just all like groom each other like monkeys and pick that shit out. You, Melissa, you have bark hair. Let me get that for you.
Is that gravel? My school was probably like, is that a syringe? Like, what is that doing in there? How did that get in there? Man, it's tangled. He's gonna have to cut that out, I think. I don't know. How it poked me.
Cut your hair off. Just cut that off.
Did you guys have a student store? Like
in elementary?
Yeah.
Not that I can remember.
Where they sell like pencils and like erasers and shit, like at lunchtime?
Not in elementary. I know in middle school and in high school you did. But
yeah, not to that degree where it's like you can buy like fucking high school swag. Like that's.
I think like most of the teachers had some things like if you get enough green cards, you can turn them in for like a sticker or some shit.
Sure, yeah. So it was kind of like that. Like there was, my elementary school had that where we could get like pencils. So like we used to collect like the pencils with all the football teams on them, and like we'd have like this big bounded rubber band stack of fucking pencils in our desks, and we would just try to randomly collect all the football teams for some reason. Like, and the pencils were like the soft pencils that like would flex, you kind of bend them a little bit and they get all weird. I don't know. It was just a thing. And so on Fridays, though, the student store would sell popcorn for $0.25. That was the jam.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my mom actually helped out at the school and like actually helped like, not necessarily in my classroom, but helped out as part of like the volunteered at the school kind of thing.
Sure.
So on Fridays,
I see a pattern in your mom's careers. Yeah.
Dude, she would like, I come sneaking out after, or not sneaking out, but I come out after lunchtime and I'd like walk by the student store before I hit recess. And dude, like, I would like, my mom would just be there like helping out, like, okay, give me a quarter, little kid, and then fucking give him popcorn. And I'd walk by and she'd just like have a bag set aside for me. And, you know, kind of like, here you go, son, bye. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm cool. Like, I don't have to pay shit for this. And I was like, popcorn.
Just cut the line too.
Yeah, I didn't even have to wait in line. I just walked by and my mom's like handing it out, like, here you go. I'm like, yes. Like cheese popcorn too. Oh man, get out of here.
I'm better than you.
And she probably like paid for that shit, you know, like, I don't know, but I'm gonna wonder if she paid for that shit ahead of time knowing that like she was gonna give it to me, or if she did one of those like, bitch, I helped make this shit, like I give it to whoever I want. Like, I know if I was participating, I'd fucking do that shit. I'd be like, here you go, kid. This is yours now. Why? Because I made it. You can have it. Someone's like, we're a quarter short in the fucking till. Get out of here.
Counting bags and shit. That reminds me, I worked at the movie theater. At the end of the night, they just throw away the popcorn.
Trash popcorn. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So if you knew somebody, then you could like get them to throw it into a trash bag, and then you get all this popcorn, right? But you got to make sure you know them, because if not, they'll throw everything else in there, right? Your popcorn, your hot dogs, your nachos, gloves.
Bring it home, something.
Yeah, nachos, whatever is expired, they just throw it away.
Yeah, so if you don't want to shit for like a week, just get a trash bag full of popcorn. It'll be fucking good.
I mean, that's what they do. I mean, and then I had to figure out like, well, how do you guys take inventory? And the way that movie theaters take inventory, and if you're listening to this a year from now, you may not know what a movie theater is because they don't exist anymore.
It's HBO Max, man. That's it. That's all they know.
They count all the bags and cups. So when you come up and you're like, oh, I dropped my soda, can I get a different cup? Like, that pisses them off.
Motherfucker. Movie theaters aren't the only place to do that. A lot of food places do that where they count the cups.
Yeah, because you can't really count syrup, right? Because it's different. And all that. So and plus you get employees that you get like free soda and free popcorn was the thing that you got for like a benefit or a perk. Uh-huh. So they'd have you bring your own, like, if you wanted to go see a movie, you could see any movie you wanted that wasn't on opening weekend and it wasn't on a holiday. And you could bring your own. You had to bring your own bag for the popcorn, and then you had to bring your own cup for the popcorn or for the soda. Yeah.
Yeah. So where do I get seated the most? Oh, I guess it would be like when I went to Sharks games or any sporting event, because I'd go like, oh, I want the souvenir cup, but I don't want the soda. I want beer or whatever. You know? So I'd be like, hey, can you just pour the beer in the souvenir cup? And they're like, no, sorry, because like one, they have to like charge the beer, but then that doesn't like equate to the souvenir cup price. But they can't just give me the souvenir cup because there's a quantity of how many souvenir cups they have. Yep. So it's like, well, I'm like, well, I still don't want to buy the soda, man. Like, I don't know how to do this.
I got in trouble at the movie theater. I almost got fired at the movie theater because my register was always even.
What? Because you knew how to do math?
Exactly. So here's the logic, right? Because they put in a one of the rooms. It was like a back room somewhere where they kept like the inventory. So I don't know if you know this or not, but behind the movie theater screens, there's usually like doors and shit that carry all like the popcorn kernels and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, one of these doors had like a chart of everybody who was on register, and they keep a track of like how much you are over or under on your register, because they want to make sure they're managing money correctly. I had a streak of over and under for like 60 days straight. I was even, right? Because I was like, man, you can put my name on the scoreboard there. I'm gonna be the best one. And so the logic was they pulled me off the register. And because that was like a promotion, right? You go from popcorn bitch to register. And then
that's the official job titles for Regal or AMC or Century Theaters, by the way. All right, well you're applying for popcorn bitch 1, and then you'll promote to nacho cheese drip.
It's snack bar. It's snack bar, but you end up being popcorn bitch.
Butter bitch.
So
can they be alliteration? Can you be like popcorn pussy and then like butter bitch and then like fountain soda fucker? It's all the same job. I guess it's true.
You have one person at popcorn, you have one person at fountain drinks, and you have one person doing snacks. If there's a lot of people going on there, right?
Sure.
Or there's a lot of things going on. Opening day, Star Wars released, or whatever the fuck it is, right? But no, so I was even for a good 60 days straight there. And mind you, I only worked there for a year and a couple months. So once I got to register, I was like, yeah, I'm going to be the best one, because not only do I want to get register, I want to get to what they called was booth or box. So the box was the people that are in the front that sell you the tickets. Like that's even, that's another jump. Like you got to be really good to get in the box there, right? Which I did end up making the box, but that's another story about how I got in trouble there and I actually got written up. But before we get there, we'll go back to why I got booted off register and put back. I was the popcorn bitch for a couple weeks. Was because they were having inventory problems. And they were trying to figure out what was going on with their inventory problems. And so me and this other kid who was also good at register, they took us off the register. So they're two top people that were on register, took us off the register, put us back as popcorn douchebags. And
wait, is that a promotion? Is that like popcorn bitch number 2 is popcorn douchebag?
Sure,
like you got to keep the fucking job title square with me, or I'm gonna fucking
we were just
lose
popcorn bitch then. Just popcorn bitch.
All right, thanks.
Anyway, so the logic behind it was, you guys are so good at your register that we think that you're stealing money, because what you're doing is you're saying, hey, customer, this soda is $3.50, and you just don't ring up the soda and pocket the money.
It's a decent logic. I mean, decent logic for a shitty minimum wage job who has people that have probably done that in the past.
I don't know if they people have done that in the past, but that was our logic, was that we were so good at our job that we must be stealing. Or that our register was so even that we must be stealing. Now, mind you, we're in the middle of the fucking theater, surrounded by all these fucking cameras. And none of those cameras saw either one of us take any money. And so their thought was, let's take them off register and see if our inventory improves. And if it does, then we have an issue. Well, the inventory got worse. so they ended up putting us back on register. And then I ended up getting into the box. And then as I was in the box, I was like hustling through there too. And my register was still great. But this one girl, what was her name? Because of C, which is kind of fitting. It was like Spider-Man was opening, and they had these stupid little heart things that were, they were selling this like charity and stuff like that. And this is back when I think Tobey Maguire, it was a long time ago, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. So back in that day.
Old school.
Yeah. So, and you know the retail game. If you got these little charity things, you're supposed to, every customer that comes up, you got to push these hearts, right? Hey, do you want to donate to charity? And I give you this little heart button thing and blah, 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 right?
Sure.
So, I was up there and I was, you had this big long line for Spider-Man that kind of twisted around the corner, right? And we're in the middle of like a lunch or a shift change or something like that. So I was the only one at the box, and I'm trying to hustle tickets. So I'm trying to get people through, right? Because they're getting pissed off because I'm the only one in the box. And there's like 3 managers, and they're all talking to each other right next to me, and none of them are up at the window like helping out. And this girl comes up to me and she goes, "Hey Ray, remember we got to sell these hearts." And I'm like, "Hey," I think her name was Celeste. I'm like, "Hey Celeste, I'm trying to get these people through. I'm not really worried about hearts right now." And she kind of like looked at me, and then like I hustled people through the line, got them inside to, spend fucking money in the goddamn theater. And
before their show starts, by the way, right?
Before the show starts. Yeah, exactly. Because there's 3 managers sitting there fucking looking at this long ass line. And that was one thing I stressed too, is like, hey, keep your lines down. Right. So now I'm getting hit from like all ends. 2 weeks later, I get pulled up into the manager's office and they get written up because she's like, "Did you blah, 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 blah." Mind you, I never talked to this manager in my life because it's some general manager. Her name was Donna, I think, and she was just a troll up there in the corner. I'm sure she was a nice lady, but the only interaction I had with her was this one time where she wrote me up. So, and then they basically kicked me out of the box. Yeah, then they kicked me out of the box.
He hurt my feelings, is what
pretty
happened
much.
There.
Yeah, and then I got put on floor, which is kind of like all the
tear your tickets and say your movie theater's on 2-3 doors down on the right.
Yeah, clear. It was kind of like the bad, like not the preppy, but like the dingy kids that would be on floor, right? So the kids aren't really clean. They smoked a lot of weed, and didn't do a lot of like, they're slack off type kids were on floor, because really, if they didn't like you and they kind of hired you, they give you like a broom and a dustpan that said, "Go sweep popcorn up off floors forever." Mm-hmm. Or tear these tickets. And so I got put on floor, and so I was rejected to, tearing tickets and cleaning up theaters. So
fucking
that's how I
popcorn
got to see,
sweeping DGen.
that's how I get to see all of Saw 1 and The Pacifier, because I was just walking the theater. And
wow, way to reap
things.
the benefits, bud.
And then I quit, and I was like, "Fuck you guys, I'm out," and went and detailed cars for a living for a while. So that was fun.
Right. Yeah, I would come through, run the car through the car wash type thing. That was always fun.
Yeah.
Man.
There you go. I was always honest. I don't think I ever stole any job I've ever been in.
Stole. I mean, you detailed my car once in the dealership. You know,
We were allowed to though.
Other people's
Practicing our
cars?
skills. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. So that was the justification. It wasn't like you were stealing fucking clay
Products
bars
or any
and
of those types of things.
Rain-X.
No, we were allowed to.
Huh.
What we weren't allowed to do, what other people would do, was they would, I had one person that I worked with who would take the cars home at night. So brand new Mustangs, drive it home and back.
Well, yeah, that doesn't sound like something you should do.
Go out drifting in cars, enjoy riding in cars.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't do that either. That's probably not a good idea.
I had one dude that just he drove he liked to snowboard, and he drove a Subaru Impreza or something like that. He's one of those guys. It's like lowered and tricked out or whatever, and it's blue. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know the type. Yeah,
exactly. He had like back then it was his hair looked like he was a little bit long, but it was kind of like. It would be shoulder length, but it kind of swept at the end because he wore a beanie all the time. You know what I'm talking
about? It flipped. It had its like slip in the back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
The bra type guys. Bra.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. And he was like 29, and he's working detail, making $10 an hour or whatever it was, because he'd been working for a couple of years and gone and left and come back and all that stuff. So anyway, I remember this. He was a pretty nice guy, but he would go out and grab one of the vans, and he'd have a girlfriend come through, and he'd be like, "See you guys later." Just nothing but sex and candy in the things when we got back. We're like, "What the fuck just happened here?"
It's like a fucking Econo van, which is like the staple bang bus van. Like,
no, it wasn't that bad. We had excursions because it was a Ford, right? And then they had those. When you're a kid and you're like, "Oh my god, your family's got that van that has TV and the leather pilot seats, and it's got that big dome over the top of it." It was one of those tricked out vans. Yeah, so we used to have some of those in the lot, and you take
the
those
Uncle Rico van.
Yeah, dude, you take some of those out and do what you got to do.
Oh man, dude. You mentioned about the like tricked out cars. First, I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb because I grew up through the like Fast and the Furious era. Like you have money now. I have decent money now. Like
we could actually afford Fast and the Furious cars.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like if you could, like, or maybe like, would you be interested to go in
on a Toyota Tercel,
something like a Prelude, and just like mod the shit out of that thing, put underglow, super fucking like
for
old school, trick the car out. Dude, it costs us like 10 grand to do. See, that's the thing. It's not that much at this point. Like, it would cost us like little to nothing to be like, yeah, dude, I put cold air, like the intakes and everything, fucking like, I mean, you would just take a 4-banger and just juice it through the roof, man.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
You wouldn't do it? You're probably like, it was a waste of money. It's a fucking bad investment.
Bad investment. I mean, I guess it'd be fun to work on cars and stuff, but yeah, no, I'm good. I don't feel like spending that much time on it. I can afford a nice car now. I don't drive one, so
this car would be the one that you like keep in the garage, like under a fucking car cover until like, no man, the weekend's coming. I gotta take like the juiced whip out so I can go drag it on the street, or like go do the quarter mile at track down in South Sac type thing.
Put my skater shoes on and some Jinko jeans and a
no man, you just gotta follow the Paul Walker approach. Jeans and some chucks, jeans and some chucks and a white tee, bro. You're fucking fine, man. That's all you gotta
throw
do.
A ski mask on and run around with it.
Yeah.
Can I use modern technology, or do I have to use technology from back then? Because I think right now I could probably run that whole thing on off an iPad, right?
The car?
Yeah, I think I have like an old iPad. We could probably just hook up to it and
you want to like RC car
for NOS and stuff.
Probably. But it's that takes away from the fun of driving it. So,
No. I don't want to drive it off that. I want to like, all the electronics and
all the tuning and stuff
nerd
like
knobs
that.
and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably could. I wouldn't see why you couldn't. I definitely have a laptop or two we could probably use and just jack it into the car and tweak it that way too.
Like I said, I think I have an iPad
Mod your
too.
chip. Yeah.
I might have an old school iPhone 4 we could throw in there.
That's like when people were like, yo, dude, you have a PlayStation in your car, and it would literally be like the entire big ass PlayStation that you'd have to put fucking CDs in. Yeah. Like the LED display screens that would pop up and fold out of the fucking aftermarket deck. You know what I'm talking about?
Ride.
And it'd be like, it'd make this loud ass noise as the fucking screen's coming up, and it'd be like hella fingerprints all over it.
It was like a big ass rear projection LCD.
Yeah. And now we got fucking like Teslas that are like, oh, you want to like get to the internet and have Wi-Fi and fucking, dude, the Teslas have, a buddy of ours, Matt's got one, right? And so, dude, they got all kinds of shit in there. So much so that there's like a fart app, literally a fart app that like is zoned. You can like zone specific the seat, like which seat farted, because that would be the speaker that plays the fart. It's not like the whole car. No, it's like, oh, we're going to put the driver's side, and it's like, that's it. You can just hear it on that one side of the car. Like, for what reason? I don't know, but it's done.
Does it release like a stink bomb too? And
I don't know. That should be the next
like
thing.
You're at a Bug's Life in Disneyland?
The full Disney experience where it's like the Bug's Life, and it's like, oh, the stink bugs are coming. I smell it. Like,
something poked me in my ass.
Dude. You'd always know the questionable ones when their ass is up in the fucking back of the chair, like at the time, like, what are you doing over there? Oh, it pets me. It's quit it. So no, you don't want to juice out a car with me?
Nah.
Well, that's all right. I still got my dad, I think. I told him, I was like, go figure out a car that you like, kind of like dream car type thing, like whatever it is. And I think he wants a Chevelle, but go figure it out, and then you and I will like commit a day a month or like a weekend a month to like, do the rotation of like order parts, bring them in, put them on, order parts, bring them in, put them in. Yeah. Because I don't necessarily want to like refinish and re-clean like an old car. I mean, sure, like the core of it I would, but I definitely want to be able to like put in new parts and and I'm not one of those people that's like, it's got to be all original. Like I want it to like be working and functional and like drive clean and all that kind of shit. Yeah. So aftermarkets and new technology and all that shit I want to put in. I don't want a car that's like, yeah, dude, this car rumbles great, but it's got no fucking AC, so I can't cruise this shit on the weekend to go to dinner in the middle of summer. Like, no. I'm cool aftermarketing and modding to get like creature comforts to be able to use the car appropriately. So, but yeah, I'm trying to get dad to like, yo, let's just do this. Like, and my dad's not that old, but it's like, hey man, before you go, like let's get this done, like so you can enjoy it for the rest of your time, and then when the time comes, I just assume the car, that I put the labor into, and he doesn't even have to do like the work. He can just help me with the parts and tell me what to do or whatever the case, and I would do all the labor and
speak to you in half broken English Spanish.
Well, I mean, he doesn't do that unless you get him like really drunk. So, I mean, that's part of it though, right? It's just part of the like experience of building a car with dad and, having that memory attached to it, and then having some kind of like monetary memento type thing to have and then carry through.
So do it. I mean, what are you waiting for?
Him to find the fucking car that he wants?
Nah, just buy it for him. Here you go. Volkswagen Bug. You've worked on thousands of these in your lifetime.
He's particular about that. He needs to find what he wants. So,
but I guarantee he can change that belt on that Volkswagen Beetle, though.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he could. He could do a lot of things.
Probably do it with his pinky.
So I had to do that actually recently. It was funny. I had a friend that had a automatic window motor like die on the car. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I had this happen on my Civic when I had it a while ago, or like years ago, right? So I was like, they're like, this thing doesn't fucking work. And they took it in the dealership, and they're like, well, and long story short, they're like, well, it was the button, well, it was this, well, it was the trigger, well, like all these things. And then finally it was like, well, the motor's fucking toasted, basically.
Right.
So got the motor, and so then they're like, well, and so they started looking up like how much is it going to talk to replace the motor and all that shit through the dealership. And it's like they're going to buy stock product and that kind of shit, which is like $250 for the part and then a labor on top of that type shit. So you're paying $500 for a fucking window motor to be replaced. And I was like, no, just go buy the part. It could be aftermarket, doesn't matter, just go buy the part. I could do this shit, it'll take me 2 hours. And so I was like, hey Dad, I need to come over to the house on whatever day it was, a Sunday or whatever. And it's like, I need you to just come over and basically like be my tool bitch, or I need to come use your garage.
Right.
And so he kind of like, dude, like I've done so much shit with him in the years, changing oil and doing all dumb shit with cars, like over the years, that he like gave me, he must have forgot. Like, I don't know, but he gave me like a look like, all right, I'll help you with this. Like, I've done this. Like, no, bro, I've done this too. Like, I'm pretty sure I understand how to do this. I just need you to be able to like help me hold the window when I fucking replace the mount so the window doesn't slide down, like all just you kind of need more than two sets of, 2 hands for the job. You need 2 sets of hands for the job.
Right.
And so I get in there, fucking crank this thing out in like under an hour. And he's like, oh shit, dude. Like, you kind of know what you're doing. I'm like, motherfucker, like I'm not done. Like I know, I know what I'm doing. So
you can learn a lot from running around and getting socket wrenches fucking from 5 to 16.
Dude, that was half my childhood, bro. It was like, give me this fucking socket with the extension. Like, get me this thing. I need a fucking quarter-inch wrench. Never find a 10 millimeter, deep socket, short socket. There was always like, the one that was always my favorite was the oil filter chingazo. That was what he called it. Hey, give me the oil filter chingazo. And it's literally like, I don't know if you've ever seen that before. It's like just a big, like, it looks like a big ring, like a half handcuff.
Yeah,
and then you like crank. Yeah, it's an oil filter chingazo. Like that would be and so like that one's always fun because I'm like, yeah, that one's a special tool. I know what that one looks like, And then it's like torque wrenches, which are different than the impact drills, which is different than, and like to use the impact drill on an air compressor, dude, that shit was all legit. So yeah. It was just one of those things where I crank it out in an hour, and he's like, all right, dude, nice work. Like you're already fucking done. And the person I did the window for was like, holy shit, like you actually did it? I'm like, yeah, dude, like it's not that hard. Like I told you it wasn't.
Speaking of tools, I saw this thing online saying, hey, when my son gets older, it was like on one of the Instagram, dad Instagram things, you dad or, dad jokes or whatever. And it basically said like, when my son gets older, I'm going to buy him his first tool set. And then I'm going to take the 10 and 13 millimeter sockets and so he can know the struggle is real.
Yeah. Dude, I took the car through the car wash the other day, and I went to vacuum the car. And so I had Carter with me, and he's on one side of the car, and I gave him the vacuum. I was like, dude, vacuum your seat, because it's got like, random crumbs and shit like that from him sitting in the car. I was like, vacuum your seat. And he's back there, and he's like, Dad! He's like, got his shirt sucked into it. And he's like, ah! And I can't hear him because I have a vacuum in my hand. He's like, and so it's like muffled, like, I'm like, what?
He's like freaking out.
Yeah, so, but he's getting it. He's doing his thing, and so I get under my driver's seat, and sure shit, there's a socket under there. And I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? I don't even know what size it was now that I think about it, but I'm pretty sure it was probably a 10 millimeter socket.
It's probably not yours. It's some other guys.
It's just sitting under my fucking car seat. I was like, dude. And then they had like this particular car has got the air compressor sprayers, not for like filling up tires, but just to like blow, like a blower,
dust
like
things off,
dust things off. So fucking the kid's in the seat vacuuming, and I go up behind him and like goose him with the fucking air, and he's like, quit! Like he's freaking out, dude, over some air. But it's all good when I gave him the air, and then he fucking wants to shoot me with it, and he's like, oh, this is fun. And I'm like, you fuck, dude, like it is fun. That's why I did it in the first place.
It is fun. That's why I fucked with you first.
This fucker. So I stopped by the parents' house today, and they have one of those trees. They don't have any trees in their yard, but they have one of those trees near them that has the spiky balls. So we talked a little bit about spiky balls.
I don't know nothing about them.
Yeah, right. So we're talking about kicking spiky balls in your yard. So they're in my mom's yard. And so I fucking go up, like, we're walking up to the door, and I grab, like, a handful. I'm all, spiky ball attack. And I throw him at him. He's like, no! Just like, and I don't hit him. I, like, purposely, like, throw, like, near him, but not at him, just so he doesn't, like, freak out about it.
To throw at him?
No. But this guy grabs one, dude, and he fucking belts it right in my head, dude. Like, no joke, dude. He hits me right in the forehead. I'm like, ow!
Where the shit was that in T-ball?
I was like, man, I can't wait for this season. The spring season's about to happen. Let's go. So you're about to play outfield with that kind of shit. Like, so we're leaving, and he's got like an armful of shit, and I'm like, I'm gonna throw spiky balls, and he's like, no, please don't. My hands, I can't do it. Silly kid. So yeah. Hey, just so things you get to look forward to, and hopefully when they get older, you being the dad will find the dream car that you used to want or have, and then you can fix it up.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I know mom's gonna listen to this, so tell dad to hurry up because I want to do it.
A Volkswagen Beetle,
or else apparently we're gonna get donations, and we're gonna do a GoFundMe for a Volkswagen Beetle, and not like an old one like the 60s, like not like
a new one with the flower
holder. We're gonna get one with the fucking flower pen cup holder bullshit, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
We'll make
it's
it electric.
Be great.
Don't worry.
It's gonna be great. Super great. Dad, this is your dream car. A fucking convertible bug with eyelashes over the fucking headlights and shit.
It's orange.
Oh man. No, let's not do that. That'd be
flower
gross.
tail lights.
Ew. Oh yeah, the fucking brake light covers are fucking flowers. Oh, people and their accessories.
It's accessories.
All right. Well, welcome to episode 35. We're there. We made it.
That's exactly what I was just about to say too. I was about to be like, hey, by the way, welcome to episode 35.
We did it
on the 35th minute mark.
Close. It's super close. Well, we did it.
If you're dyslexic, it's 35.
I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of the insider juice of like the secret sauce
of
what?
Our
the secret sauce of our podcast a little bit, and I just find it amusing. And I don't know if anybody else really finds our podcast amusing. And you know what?
At least 10 people.
I don't know if I really care if you find it amusing, but I find it amusing, and Ray finds it amusing.
And that's all that matters.
That's it. I definitely know I can walk away from us doing around here and like know which ones are like, man, that one's gonna be rough, or like, man, this one's easy, this one was smooth. And sure as shit, like the ones I know, they're like, yeah, this one was good, this one was a good one. When I'm editing it, I get that same feedback, like, man, you guys, this was a good one this week. Like, all right, so thanks for the feedback, who tell us we make a good episode or not. It's okay. I'm okay if you tell me we make a shit episode too, because then I can just learn what not to do.
Yeah, I get that feedback too.
You get the shit feedback?
Yeah.
This one sucked.
No, I mean, for the most part, it's like, yeah, it was good, except for this one part, right? So like last week, it was, you guys shouldn't talk about the stock market. Okay.
Why? Well, so hold on. Let's.
You lost me. Okay.
Oh, so that's it. It's because you don't understand what's going on. Well, like,
or it just wasn't interesting to that person. It's just gonna happen to you.
Yeah, I mean, but there's some things that even you talk about, or I talk about, is probably not interesting to the other person. All the time.
Half your shit.
Oh yeah. Okay. But I listen to it because in some instances maybe I learned something. I'm not too deep into the stock market, but I learned something through last week that, about what was going on. And it's topical to what's taking place today and could be monumental about how shit happens moving forward. So, for me, cool. Now I have a little fucking seed in my brain that I can carry with me about what's happening and what's happening moving forward and be relevant to the situation and understand what's going on. That's it. I don't need to know the ins and outs. I don't need to know what fucking happened in the Wall Street Journal for the last 7 days. I know that if I sat in a conversation with somebody, I can at least feel a little bit more comfortable about what went down, how it happened, and what people have opinions about moving forward, and be able to share those things and to be able to nod and go, okay, yeah, I get it, and move on with my day.
Yeah.
That's it. Just understanding a little bit more about the topic of conversation.
Yeah.
Too bad. Sometimes things just don't always work out that way. Can't be funny all the time. I mean, fuck, even the best comedians where they do their stand-up bits, they practice those fucking bits and they go try new material. And even the material that's been conditioned and practiced may work in fucking Nebraska, but it won't work in Wyoming when they go on tour. It's the same shit, just different crowd, and may not work out for them. That's the way it goes. That's one thing I feel like I saw Kevin Hart's stand-up comedy thing he did when he was actually like through this last year in quarantine. Did you see that on Netflix at all?
No, Kevin Hart's all right, and I don't watch all of his stuff. So I think the only thing I really watch is the Cold as Balls. The
Cold as Balls ones, yeah. So this one in particular, and like, I mean, Kevin Hart's funny or whatever, but he definitely has a formula to his shit too. But this one in particular, he invited people to his house. Like, he invited them to come down into like some random room in his house, and like he had a stage set up and they recorded and everything, and like the audience was like 50 people deep and they're all wearing masks and stuff. And then he did a whole fucking stand-up bit about it. Like, he did a whole fucking, special by people doing it in their house. And I was watching this, and it makes me wonder, like, as we move forward, as we do new things, as we try to find opportunities to kind of go back to what things were, like, do we think that that's not ever going to be the case? Will we just elect to be in a spot where everyone's now just going to have cameras in their house or webcams on their computers, and everyone's just going to sit at home and do these entertainment things, live concerts or whatever the case may be, at home, like we do for sporting events? Not everyone goes to the games, but they broadcast that shit like crazy. It was just interesting to kind of think about, like, I wonder if this is going to be a thing. For example, there's a magician that's on Netflix. Justin, what's his last name? Oh shit.
A magician?
Yeah. What's his name? Justin Williams? Is that him?
Just insert the last name. Just edit it back in later.
Justin Williams. He does Magic for Humans, which is on Netflix. And I feel like we always plug Netflix for some reason, and they're not paying us shit for this. So, but he basically, once this thing went down, he basically did an entire like interactive magic show for people on Zoom. So what he would do is he'd sell tickets to like get the invite code basically to do the magic show with him live on Zoom, and he would provide them like stuff to have or whatever so they can participate in the show through Zoom Interactive, which may be arguably better for some mediums than not, because you get some of that intimate interaction that you don't necessarily get like in a fucking huge venue with 50,000 people and you're on a stage, playing, some kind of song or whatever. So it's just interesting that, to adapt to that and be able to do those kind of things. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. And I only think about that now going into Super Bowl. That's coming down the pipe here, and I don't even know if they're allowing people in Florida to do that stuff.
Yeah, I think they put out some tickets to like first line responders and stuff if they've been vaccinated, they can come out to the Super Bowl. So I thought it was pretty cool. But I think most of their stuff is just going to be a huge revenue loss for them because they're not going to make as much as they normally would during the Super Bowl. So they probably jacked up their ad prices.
I mean, everyone's going to make their money somewhere, and they're going to just. No one's going to ever just take the cut and be like, oh, dang, it's going to be a little less than last time. Like, no, they're going to figure out how to cut the edges and make it work for them. So,
yep. Yeah. Who you got in the Super Bowl?
What is it? Tampa and Kansas City, right?
Tampa,
I think I got Tampa. I want Tampa because I feel like Tampa's an underdog in this situation.
It's their home field.
I know, but it's back to back with Kansas City if they win. So I think I want Tampa to pull one through, and I want Brady to just kind of like just put a middle finger out there, like, yeah, motherfucker, I can still play with a whole different team. It's cool, like, and still do it, man. Dude, that's big balls right there, man. That's huge dick status right there.
Oh, I mean, that's what one of his former teammates said is like, as you can see, the Patriots offense was Tom Brady's offense. So
yeah, for sure.
It's not Bill Belichick. It was Tom Brady. So
it was a good game in both of the division games coming in. So I really think the game was the Green Bay Tampa Bay series was probably the game to watch over anything else. But I mean, we'll see how that pans out going into this weekend.
Yep.
So, well, hey, I know it's running a little late. We started a little late today, so sure. So I'm gonna call it here. If you're good, I think you're good.
Yeah.
So we'll do a little shorty.
I'm old.
Yeah, you're getting old, man. We talked about glasses last week. Next thing you know, you're going to be talking about your Metamucil dosage and all that shit, and we'll worry about how your stool flow is happening, and are they soft or firm or what the fuck they look like. So, Anyway, Ray, thank you for the time. If you're listening to this, thank you as always. You can hit us at ILPAC Podcasts on all of our handles: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can hit us on our email at ilpacpodcast@gmail.com, website ilpac.com. Or if you are in our super secret club, you can probably just text us and, we answer as normal. We love you guys. Thank you very much for listening on this one. Again, a shorty today, but that's all right. We will get back at it in next week as always. Ray, any final thoughts for today?
Make sure you wheeze out with your peas out.
That's true. You don't want to do it insidesies, your pantsies, because then it's all bad. Thanks, Ray.
We out.